I think alternative energy is going in the right direction in the US. I don't think it's going fast enough. Germany and Denmark now lead the world in wind energy technology. We could have been there. It turns out that even in the 70s and early 80s, NASA had the largest working turbines of anyone in the world, with designs that actually are more sophisticated than current wind energy turbine designs. We didn't pursue it. What that tells us is we can be leaders in this area, but we have some catching up to do. Case Western Reserve has created what we call the Great Lakes Energy Institute. It arose in the School of Engineering. A group of faculty got together and really asked the question, why aren't we playing more of a role in advancing alternative energy ideas and addressing issues that face us with increasing cost of power, and also perhaps even addressing the cost of how much pollution are we creating by burning materials, and wouldn't we want to make things cleaner? We could be making a lot more money than we do at the moment, and to be fair, GE Wind are making quite a bit of money globally with their turbines, but they use a 1.6 or 1.5 megawatt compared to this 4 megawatt giant that NASA had in those days. Okay, maybe that wasn't one that you could manufacture cheaply, but of course that was 20 years ago. We can do a lot better than that now. If we could find out how to get the same amount of power with smaller blades or smaller length blades, that we could rotate faster, so we could build smaller generators, we could decrease the cost of the turbine, and thereby decrease the cost of actual electricity generated by wind power. So that's one of the areas. If we could find cheap ways of deploying turbines in offshore locations, that would really bring the price down. So I'm very optimistic about where we can take that kind of technology, and I'm very optimistic about where we can take solar. We have huge resources for that in this country. If you look at solar energy and you want to look at what's the potential power that we can access, one way to look at it would be to say, if I took all the solar power that was sent to the Earth's surface in 1 hour, I would have enough power to last the world for about a year. So solar power, very expensive because of the materials involved, etc. And wind power likewise, but not as expensive as solar. It's cheaper to install. So the problem is that it costs more than what we're paying. In Ohio in particular, we're paying something like 5 or 6, 8 cents a kilowatt hour. Well, wind energy is going to cost us maybe 20, 24. And unless there's some way to absorb that cost, and ultimately has to be, it's been proven in Europe, has to be borne by the consumer. The government can give handouts to different companies at some point, but it just doesn't work as a basic subsidy. When the customer subsidizes it, that's ultimately what gets it going, and in the long term then brings down the cost. When we're looking at the cost of alternative energy, at the risk of being flippant, if you went back in time and looked at the cost of a horse compared to the cost of an automobile, and the convenience of owning the horse versus the convenience of owning an automobile, you'd definitely have gone for the horse. That's certainly not the case today. We can address other issues like climate and so on, but hey, let's just look at the state of our own backyard and clean it up. I think in the long run, if we do that, we'll have affordable technologies. We just have to work at it.